I'm Nik Madan. I'm from the class of 2011, which is this year's seniors. I did the mini-med program at the Hahnemann Hospital, which is part of the Drexel Medical School over the summer. Well, during the surgical procedures, it was more like, wow, this is so cool. I wonder what it would be like to actually do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that sticks out in my mind the most is a TKA, which is a total knee arthroplasty,
Mm-hmm.
where they took power tools to a guy's knee, chopped part of it off, then hammered in a prosthetic, and then sealed it up and closed it, and that was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life. As I told you, the total knee arthroplasty. The other was watching open heart surgery. And like that, those are just like, okay, even if I had decided that I didn't want to do medicine after this, those are probably some of the best things I've ever done. Like, it's just so far out there. Like, how often as a high school student do you get to do those kinds of things? Well, I'd recommend it because there's a lot of things you can discover, both about yourself and about kind of new interests you'd like to pursue. Like, this is where I discovered that I would love to do maybe biomedical engineering, or I'd love to be a surgeon, and that I definitely don't want to work in a clinic. It's more that if you're interested in something, go and try it out, because you might discover that either you really, really like it or that you don't.
My name's Nina Green. I'm a senior, and the program I did for ECCO was EIL, the Navajo Nation program, and I just fell in love with it. I did my research paper on Navajo history with American history combined, so I did the history of kind of Native American relationships with our government. I'm not the most loud or outgoing person at school, so but definitely with my group it was really fun, just getting to know everyone. Everyone was really nice. People were really cool. And then my family, of course, I was really lucky. I had 2 teenage girls in my Navajo family, and they were super, super cool and really nice, and I got really close to them. A profound lesson that I learned, I guess, is just really taking risks, because I mean, getting to know my Navajo family at first was kind of hard because you don't know them, you don't kind of know their personality at all, or what could offend them or anything, because we were briefed a lot before even meeting them, kind of what can offend Navajo people, or just what, just how to act around people you don't know. Just the values you learn from going on a trip like this definitely are things you'll take back, and just the memories you'll have. So I guess for me, the fact that teenagers, no matter where you are still the same. They were so interested in flirting. They had cell phones, they text all the time, they had iPods, so it wasn't they were completely different. I was so comforted by that, I guess, or not just comforted, but just kind of wow, it's just so funny that they're they may go up to the farm and herd the sheep, or kill a goat to eat dinner, but they also have cell phones and iPods, and they still go to school and have boyfriends. I'm just glad for the experience. I mean, I'm glad that I did it, because now I have this whole kind of story to tell, or just this experience that's within me now. I mean, for me, it changed kind of just my whole perspective.
My name is Alex Woods. I'm a freshman at AFS, and I participated in a summer camp at the Kimmel Center for chamber music. Matt was the first person. He talked to me. I was walking in the hallway, and he yelled out, "Alex."
Every single person is either as talented or much more talented than you are. So you have to, I was used to a school where I was at the top of my game as a clarinetist. And even here, there's only 2 clarinetists. I know for me, and anything I do, I just know that there's always going to be someone better. No matter where you go, in most situations, there's going to be someone smarter, better at their instrument, better at their sport than you are. And you just have to understand that, and you have to strive to match that. And that's especially what I noticed at the Kimmel Center.
A lot of the time when we get really good at something, and we sort of expect it to be the same. I'm really good at this. This is going to be easy. This is, it's just sort of the way that we start to think about our interest. So, you know, to get that outside opinion or a different experience, where that's where you're pushed to a level that you never thought you would be pushed before.
Well, I think the hardest part was being able to go in there, play maybe 3 hours a day, and not being able to get some time for yourself to practice, and just having to immediately go into a group and know your instrument well enough to just play the piece. There's always a new surprise, and there's always going to be a challenge. And being able to handle the challenge and being able to prepare yourself well enough to handle that challenge is really what defines, in this case, a great clarinetist or a good clarinetist.
I'd been to the Perlman once before when I was a lot younger, and I remember when I went before, it seemed really, really big. You know, just like this huge space. And you know, when I finally played there at the end of the 2 weeks, you know, I was sitting on the stage, and it sort of felt like I don't know, it felt sort of smaller, both in size and kind of like, it was a little more intimate, I guess, when I played than when I watched someone else play. That's really what, if I were to go back there now and listen to someone else play, I would feel like, you know, okay, I know this space, and oh, I remember when I was back there coming from that side of the stage to play just like they were, and it would sort of be a sense of knowing more what's going on and being able to maybe relate with the performers a little bit.